Hi everyone, this is Sky. I just wanted to come on and invite you over to my Patreon page. During this month, for a limited time, I am doing free trials over there so you guys can try before you buy. If you don't enjoy the service, you can definitely cancel. On Patreon, I post weekly forecasts called T-Chats. I also post the monthly sign-by-sign videos and a monthly installment called Benevolence. You can check out the link below to get a free trial, and I am going to also be including a preview of some of that content onto this video as well. I hope you're all doing well, and definitely check out a free trial as those will only be available for a limited time. And yes, it is important to be preparing for 2024 as it's a very climactic and powerful year for astrology as well, and powerful year for preparation and growing your philosophical, astrological, or conceptual power as a person. So I hope that you will consider that and invest in some more information that this channel provides along those lines, while also helping to make the channel possible. It's a very valuable offering, and here is a very wonderful promotion to try it out free for a week. So come check it out and enjoy the oncoming preview of premium content only available on this channel's Patreon page. Hi everyone, and welcome to December Benevolence. I'm coming on to talk to you about the month of December after having filmed all of the sign-by-signs, the comprehensive astrology, and having worked a lot with this really shifting, wild energy of December. For me, I've been noticing that the energy building up to this month is one of the more unexpected volatile energy lines. We've had Uranus and Jupiter, I think, really causing that with their retrogrades in Taurus and being closer together. Of course, we have Jupiter going direct this month. We have Neptune going direct this month. We have Pluto having been direct. We're moving closer to all planets direct coming in January 2024. So that suggests to me that a lot of obstacles, a lot of knots, a lot of confusion points are clearing. And it's creating this really fast energy, very fast, very linear, very cardinal energy, which is freaking a lot of people out. I've had a lot of influx of people, both like professionally and personally, clients, friends, family, everything you can imagine, coming to me lately with a lot of seeming emergency situations. Of course, we have an increase in global conflict. We have a lot of powers being invoked here, and it's happening at that macro level and also at the micro level. There's an increase in things such as divorces, bankruptcies, industry shifts, quitting, also selling or relinquishing, withdrawing in some way, as we have the climax point, really one of the final major pushes of that rabbit year reduction energy. And it's going to really feel the most potent it's felt all year here, especially in the first 2 weeks of December. So we've got quite a few things to talk about, everyone. I'm just going from my notes for all of the signs that I used during the general readings. So the key words that were coming up collectively throughout those were evolution, seal, ease, sense, level up, delegate, increase, realization, refinement, altitude, memory, and visibility. So it's a very kind of like quantum accuracy period of time. What do I mean? It feels fast moving, it feels shifting, it feels like it's covering a distance. And it's telling a story of cutting off the dead ends, cutting off the things that are weighing us down. It's telling a story of getting more aerodynamic. It's telling a story of upliftment as well, and negation of the parts that don't work. So that means some degree of calamity also for a lot of people, because people get very attached to sometimes things that don't work just because they're familiar. And I'm seeing that in a lot of places right now, causing a little bit of disruption. It's causing people to really have to squarely look themselves in the mirror. A lot of things that used to distract us before, or used to not be able to coexist with the other peaceful elements of our life, that stuff is being placed aside here. And it's not even sometimes by our own choice, okay? It's one of the most heavy-handed Capricorn seasons I've ever seen coming up, with this anaretic Pluto, with the personal planets, Mercury going retrograde in Capricorn, also the, of course, seasonal inner planets starting to transit back over those 2020 Capricorn stellium degrees, okay? That is very heavy-handed. That's a bit tyrannical, and it's also a bit cruel, as there's a deep frustration for many people relating to things that have had so much energy put into them, things that have become entrenched, things that are generational or long-running, not yielding the results they wanted it to yield. The breakdown, the wear and tear, the infrastructural instability is at a climax with this transit. So I want to prepare you guys for that. This is such a beautiful time to cultivate relationship with higher power, to accept authority, and to detach yourself from the need to require that long-running situations, long-running distractions, long-running structures be as you either predicted or as you need to maintain a sense of familiarity. We're right on the cusp of Pluto moving into Aquarius. In fact, I believe this is our final month. I'll have to look at my ephemeris once more to double check that. But I believe in January, it's shifting back into Aquarius. I'll double check that for you guys and put it in the box below. It's sometime in January through March. I should know that off the top of my head. But as an astrologer, sometimes it can get a little, you have to like really be able to compartmentalize, like remembering where all the planets are at all times. You know, there's quite a few of them. Sometimes we don't remember the specific dates, but I believe it's like January. It's either all planets direct starts then or Pluto's moving into Aquarius. Okay. Because of that happening and being so close, and of course Pluto being in the last degree of Capricorn, it's like guaranteeing something that we're not accustomed to. It's guaranteeing unfamiliarity. Also having Uranus and Taurus, and it clashes because there's a difficulty with Uranus and Taurus. A lot of other astrologers that I know are frustrated by that energy because it's like Taurus wants things to stay the same and Uranus wants to change things. So it's like knowing that a change is required, but sometimes not having the financial ability to actually make the change, or being afraid of the disruption of your current status quo. And being that it's been retrograde and with Jupiter there really intensifying it, it won't be until the end of this month that we can really see the forest for the trees because of their retrogrades. At the same time, I feel like it is times like these types of perhaps frustrating times for some people, and also very elevating times for other people, as people who can hold peace, or people who can, like good emergency managers, for example, people who can retain their mind and their morals and their personal wellness through times of chaos or through times of darkness, like this time is. Those people are going to really elevate and perhaps become leaders, or become, it doesn't even have to be like, because again, the status quo is really being defined here. When I say becoming leaders, it doesn't necessarily mean what the status quo deems or labels a leader. This can be very, actually with Pluto in this area, in this last degree of the dark sign of Capricorn, it can be like hidden leaders, or it can be like hidden authority. So I'd also remind you guys of that. If you have any like power plays in your life, or if you have anything going on that feels like you know how the board is stacked, keep in mind that a lot of the power sources right now are not visible. And that is also one of the ways that power operates. So sometimes we don't necessarily know also everything on the board. So it's a better time for withdrawal in most cases than it is for really heavy-handed power plays. Also, I feel that people making very heavy-handed power plays, especially initiators of heavy-handed power plays, really have a lot of consequences. And we have to think in a very layered way about it. So when I say like the initiator of some kind of power play, it doesn't necessarily mean the person who initiates resolution, but it can be also people who try to use their power to maintain the status quo in their own lives when it's not appropriate, or who really try to stress and bend the structures at hand without giving respect to the way that things really work. So this is also the operation of Saturn in Pisces. It's gone direct as well. It's moving direct, and it's starting to show like how some people are wanting to like bend the rules, wanting to also see just how far something can be stretched, just how far something can be pushed. That's very heavy-handed during this time. And I do see breaking for some people. So like breakups, also, thinking of rules, regulations, laws, like a lot of that could be jeopardized during this time as well, as people have like a desperation. And it's going to cause paradigm shift as well, because as things like that are broken or changed, this changes up, in some cases, people's freedoms, people's autonomies, people's economic situations can get split or divided during this period of time. And for some people, it's actually much preferable to have that. But for other people, it's just difficult to really come to terms with something changing at this point because of how long running a lot of people's, especially material circumstances, and then the psychologies that rely on those material circumstances are. So, it's a very important time. Getting benevolence in the month of December has a lot to do with cultivating that central core that isn't dependent on other people's economic actions, that isn't dependent on, laws, regulations, rules, or macroeconomics, or, certain long-running relationships to exist. Okay? That's really the fatal flaw of this period of time, is having a certain energy within you, like your own central core of energy, being dependent on other people's actions. And there's always going to be a part of our reality that is dependent on other people's actions and macro actions as well. But if we can start to separate the deeper inner core from that part, that higher conscious level that is more reliant, I think that that's going to be a lot more benevolent feeling here.